After Niger gained independence in 1960, there hasn't been a peaceful, democratic handover of power until Mohamed Bazoum was elected president 2 years ago. However, on July 26, he was overthrown by members of his presidential guard, marking the third coup in as many years to depose a Sahelian leader. The leaders of the coup claim they wish to stop further issues with the economy and security. The coup leaders later announced that the borders were closed. General Abdourahmane Tchiani, commander of the presidential guards, appointed himself head of the country's new military government. Tensions has been on the rise in the country since then. In a significant move, Niger has revoked its military cooperation agreement with the European Union. This decision, announced on December 4th by the Nigerian government, comes amidst escalating tensions between the West and Russia in the Sahel region. What must have been the cause of this revoking? Niger's populace is growingly disapproving of Western nations, especially France, which keeps a sizable military presence in the country. This attitude is a result of claims that Western troops have violated human rights, irritation at ongoing insecurity, and what is believed to be neocolonialism. In the late hours of October 9, the Niger military administration declared that the Nigerian army will accompany the French soldiers when they began their withdrawal from the country on October 10. Upon assuming power at the end of July, Nigerian generals promptly issued an order for 1,400 French soldiers to evacuate the country. At the end of September, French President Emmanuel Macron announced their resignation. As per the administration, a mutually agreed-upon schedule for the forces' withdrawal was established following discussions and negotiations between their authorities and the French counterparts. According to Nigerian and French security sources, there were numerous convoys between the capital Niamey and the advanced sites in the northwest, where 400 soldiers are stationed. Niger's new strongman, General Abdourahmane Tchiani, had said shortly after coming into power that a transition period would last a maximum of 3 years. Tchiani is actively working to diversify its foreign partnerships and break free from its historical reliance on Western powers by forming stronger connections with Russia and other regional players. This fits in with a larger trend of African nations seeking to claim more strategic independence. Before the coup that deposed the country's president, Mohamed Bazoum, Niger had been the West and Europe's last major security partner in the Sahel, the vast region south of the Sahara Desert that Islamic extremist groups have turned into the global terror hotspot. On Sunday, Niger's military commander, General Abdourahmane Tchiani, and Minister of State for National Defense, Salifo Modi, received a rare visit from a Russian team headed by the country's Deputy Minister of Defense, Launesbek Ivkurov. The parties continued their discussions the following day over military and defense-related matters. At the end of November, the Nigerian authorities put an end to one of the main pillars of European cooperation in Africa by repealing a law that penalized the illegal trafficking of migrants. The separation from Europe signifies a subsequent divorce from France, the ally of the deposed President Mohamed Bazoum, who remains in the custody of the ruling military regime. Still, Russia is starting to become the go-to partner, a country that did not dominate Africa and that trained many of the continent's soldiers after independence. Russia likewise gives lethal weaponry without demanding human rights accountability in exchange. It is giving Mali access to aircraft, helicopters, weapons, and mercenaries from its private security company Wagner. In Burkina Faso, it is also enhancing security cooperation, most notably through military personnel training, and it has promised to build a civilian nuclear power plant and provide healthcare assistance. The military leaders in Mali, Burkina Faso, and now Niger are all drawn to the offer, since they all came to power on the promise of eliminating the terrorist organizations that had persisted in invading their countries, even with military backing from the West. This decision to revoke the military agreement may have also been influenced by internal political dynamics. Niger's current military regime, which seized power in a coup in July 2023, has expressed its desire to reduce foreign influence in the country. Many Nigerians believe that France continues to exploit their resources and exert undue influence on their government. The domestic political pressures, fueled by public opinion, political agendas, and historical context, ultimately led Niger to revoke its military accord with the EU. This decision underscores the complex dynamics shaping the country's security and foreign policy landscape. Take note that Niger's military leaders also ordered the United Nations diplomatic mission to leave their country within 72 hours. Niger's military leaders announced on October 11 that the UN used obstacles to stop the West African nation from fully participating in the 78th UN General Meeting that was held in New York. The representative from Niger, who was set to take the floor, did not do so. According to reports, the group had received requests from both the overthrown administration and the military rulers to address the assembly. The military leaders criticized the UN Secretary-General Antonio Guterres' actions and said that he was preventing them from attending the UN's General Assembly. With Niger revoking its security agreement, the Nigerian forces will no longer take part in a European-led training mission or the European Union Capacity Building Mission in Niger, known as UCAP, to reinforce security capacity in the Sahel state. The move threatens to upend the EU's strategy to engage with Niger as an ally in the troubled region. It comes a week after the military leaders announced it was ending a separate $1.84 billion agreement to contain migration from Africa to Europe. This move signified a significant shift in the relationship between Niger and the EU, with potential implications for migration control efforts across the region. Niger is also welcoming Russia as its ally. A Russian delegation led by the Deputy Defense Minister met with Niger's authorities in Niamey early this month, with the two countries agreeing to strengthen military cooperation. The trip was the first official visit by a member of the Russian government since the coup on July 26. The delegation, led by Colonel General Yunus Bekyeferov, was hosted for talks by the head of Niger's military government, General Abdourahmane Tchiani. The parties signed documents to strengthen military cooperation between the Republic of Niger and the Russian Federation. Amidst protracted jihadist insurgencies, the military regimes in Mali, Niger, and Burkina Faso have united to back the formation of an alliance of Sahel states, fostering stronger economic connections and reciprocal defense support. Burkina Faso and Niger have also joined Mali in quitting the G5 anti-jihadist force in Africa's Sahel region, the latest blow to the fight against insurgents in one of the world's most troubled zones. Only Chad and Mauritania now remain in the G5, whose military deployment is largely financed by the European Union. Their decision to quit the G5 may have come as a result of the confederation they are creating. The foreign ministers of Burkina Faso, Mali, and Niger recommended on Friday, December 1st, creating a confederation as part of a long-term goal of uniting the West African neighbors within a federation. The top diplomats of the Alliance of Sahel States met in Bamako for 2 days. The ministers stressed the value of development, defense, and diplomacy in their talks to consolidate political and economic integration and to further explain the inner workings of the new alliance. The country's economy and finance ministers, who met in late November, advised creating a stabilization fund, an investment bank, and a committee that would study an economic and monetary union. If this federation is created, then Burkina Faso and Mali will soon cut off the whole of Europe as well. The military regime in Niger decided to end the migratory control agreement with the EU, which is a big move with wide-ranging effects. It draws attention to the intricate difficulties in regulating migration in the area and the necessity of teamwork in addressing the underlying factors that contribute to migration, such as the dearth of employment prospects and poverty. Efficient and compassionate management of migration can only be achieved using a comprehensive and collaborative strategy. Do you think Niger will collaborate with other African countries other than Mali and Burkina Faso? Let us know what you think in the comments below. Encourage us to continue making videos like this for you by liking this video and subscribing to the New Tourist channel. Turn on notifications too so you get notified whenever we upload videos like this. Thanks for watching and see you in our next video.